Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Engineer, where it's me, Lady the Engineer, also PT on video support, and some sort of weird 3D printed shape behind us. We're talking more about that later.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on tonight.
We're broadcasting here from downtown Manhattan in the Adafruit secret headquarters. You can even hear the sounds of us doing our secret box shipping. It's your orders being shipped right now, live.
Yeah,
but we have a lot of stuff on the show. We had an awesome show and tell.
Yeah.
We've got 3D printed creepy things behind us. I don't know. Just tell them what's on tonight's show.
On tonight's show, we have a special code. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Qualia 10% off everything in stock. We will talk about the free deals that we're still doing at Adafruit, the fact that we still take Bitcoin. Lady Ada visited.
We went to the headquarters.
We went to the source. We'll talk about the show and tell, record show and tell with like 10 people. It was awesome. We will go over some fun things like mailbag. Got some news. We got some Internet of Things news. We got some open source hardware news. We're going to talk about the latest winners in the BeagleBone Black contest. Have some news in the world of Arduino. Got some great guides in the Adafruit learning system. Time Travel Tuesday, a look back in the world of makers and more. Wearables, 3D printing, Pi projects, and of course, new projects. New products, sorry. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question, all that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Okay.
Okay, so first order of biz is biz. The code is Qualia, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. Put it
Except software.
Except for software and gift certificates. Okay. Expires on 11:59. Get on that. Just a reminder, we do this each week because we always have different deals and stuff going on. So right now, $200 and above, Continental USA, free UPS ground. It's a good deal. $99, which is lower than $200. You get an Adafruit Perma Proto half-size breadboard. It's awesome.
Very handy.
Next up, reminder, we take Bitcoins. It's weird. We're not sure how much longer we're going to do this. We're not sure how much longer.
There's some problems.
Spend
them now.
Well, there's no problems with us taking them. It seems like every week there's an issue with some of the exchanges, and some people had issues with Mount Gox or whatever. But you know what? This Bitcoin thing seems to be here to stay just for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And speaking of, we're going to just jump to a news item right now. There is a Bitcoin center in New York. It's on Broad Street. It's about, I don't know, 100 yards from
Old Adafruit.
The old Adafruit. No, well, a little bit farther from old Adafruit, but about 100 yards from the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes.
And we went there, and there you are in front of the place, and you had your Bitcoin badge. We have these badges. And it's interesting. It's in the financial district. It's actually a thing. And they have meetings there, and they had...
It was closed. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, well, it was Sunday, so I think that's
Sunday.
fair. Even
Bitcoin rests on the Lord's Day.
Digital currency never sleeps, but Bitcoin Center is closed on Sundays.
Okay.
So anyways, that's the Bitcoin Center. It's in New York. If you're in New York, you should probably check it out. They have a website. We did a post on the Adafruit site. So let's get started, Lady Ada. We had kind of a record show and tell tonight. You might want to just spend just a couple minutes on this. There's a lot.
I'm going to go through everybody. Everyone gets an equal amount of attention.
Yeah.
Piece of paper. I've got 9 people, so yeah, we're going to go through it. Okay, meanwhile, you can do some stuff. Maybe copy and paste some links into the chat or something. First up, we had Tony DeCola, who is a regular now, and this week, he's like learning all sorts of cool stuff. This week he's learning Android development, and he learned basically how to connect like an Arduino Nano, that's like a little Arduino compatible that is breadboard friendly and has an FTDI chip, so it plugs straight into USB. And apparently with Android, you can plug the USB into the on-the-go cable, connected to the Android tablet. I think he's using like a Nexus 7 or 5 or something. And you can basically control the Arduino and have it send data back and forth. So what he did is he had one of our I2C voltage and current measurement units breakouts connected, and then he reported that data to his Android device, and he said it's Java, and he's like, it's not that hard, you just get the SDK installed. So yeah, that's cool, Java. Check it out. I'm actually interested because I haven't seen a lot of people doing that much, and I know that people doing Android development, but I haven't actually seen like live Android Arduino hooking upness lately. Next up, we had Roberto Marquez, Juanberto, who has shown off really cool projects. And this week, he's showing off a BeagleBone Black web radio that he made. It's a web-controlled BeagleBone Black that can pipe audio out. Actually, I don't know how he does the audio, because audio isn't, there's no audio out from the BeagleBone Black. So it must be through a USB converter, I guess, because I don't think there's an audio port directly on there. But it can play radio, like MP3 radio through the internet. And it's just like a fun project. It's also in Java. Hopefully he'll post up his code so people can check it out. Third, we had Paul. Paul, actually, this is a pretty cool project. Paul, this is his first project showing off on the show and tell. And he made his own custom DDR pad using an EasyKey. So EasyKey is our Bluetooth wireless keyboard controller. It's like a no programming keyboard controller for Bluetooth. And he just hooked up the 4 DDR pads. He made his own DDR pads. This was totally cool back in the day. You'd make your own DDR pad, and he hooked it up to the EasyKey, and then it connects, it's paired to his Nexus tablet that he puts up on, like he had it connected onto like some sort of tripod thing. And he can play, DDR all day on his little wireless rig. And we were first-person DDRing, and it was super cool. Fourth, there's a lot of people. Fourth, Jeff showed up, and he is a LARPer, and he's a healer in his live-action role-playing game. And he wanted to have an LED staff, his healing staff, because he's like a white mage, I guess. And the thing about the healing magic that he casts in this game is it takes 30 seconds.
Yeah.
For the spell to occur.
So he made a timer, basically.
So you have it's a timer staff. So not only is this like an LED staff that glows, there's a trinket and it flickers and like turns green to show you that your health is increasing. But when you press the button, it takes 30 seconds for the animation to complete. So if he gets like struck by a foam halberd or whatever, he can reset it and start over because the spell has been canceled. And this way he doesn't have to have like a stopwatch or something, which is totally anachronistic and doesn't belong in your medieval role-playing game. So check it out. It was kind of cool. And he made the diffuser out of like bubble wrap in a noodle bin or something. It's a takeout container. It works great. Zach came by. He is doing a cool wearable project. He's been doing wearable LED technologies. And he made turn signal gloves. These are gloves that have LEDs on them that when you like squeeze your hand, the arrow blinks. So you can hold up your hand and you have like a little LED turn signal when you're on a bicycle because you don't have like an LED turn signal like a motorcycle or a car would. And so he showed off his turn signal gloves. And he also had a turn signal hat, which looked pretty cool. It was a little diamond-shaped hat, glowy thing. I liked it. It's like yellow LEDs. I think yellow LEDs are underrated.
Yeah.
Micah was right. Yellow LEDs look really cool, and people don't use them enough. So more yellow LEDs, please.
Okay.
All right, we're halfway through. Sixth up, Rick Winscott had a furry green robot, and it was a trinket-powered robot. So that's our little AT-Tiny 85. That was also used in the LED staff. Same device, trinket. And it can drive 2 servos and a NeoPixel. So he made this little robot that had little arms that moved up and down. And like a weird glowing eye thing. It's a little creepy, a little cute. A little creepy, a little cute, a little bit of both. A little bit of robot. His name is Moxie. Check out the video if you want to see more of Moxie.
Cute robot.
Isn't that cute? Very fuzzy. I would pet that robot. Justin Shaw came by and he built a big NeoPixel clock using NeoPixel panels, and it's a what was it? A bike race time?
Mountain bike timer that his friend wanted for years. So
yeah.
Now he finally did it, and he did it really cool.
Mountain bike races are really long, aren't they? They're like 18 hours long or something crazy.
I don't know.
Some of them. I think there's like some that are like days or something. Anyway, so we made a gigantic clock for a mountain bike race, and it's really big. It's like 2 foot by 1 foot, and it had like 48 by 16 pixels. And one side had baffles, so the pixels were really square, and the other side had a diffuser. So it was two styles. Ijo came by, and he is playing around with his Galileo that he just got, and he put some cool standoffs on it. Nice. And he's also making a 868 megahertz Arduino RF link. He used 2 like 800 megahertz modules, and he hooked them up together, and he made a little RF link with 2 Arduino so you can connect data back and forth. He also has a GPS and barometric pressure sensor kit that he made using like Adafruit GPS and an Arduino and an LCD. And he has students that do barometric pressure and temperature logging, and it uses GPS so you can also do location logging. So that's cool. I like to see new people showing up with their projects. He had a really good perf board technique. And finally, Lance showed up with his Bitcoin wallet wristband thing that he's working on. He's making a little Bitcoin wallet thing that's like a QR code, I think, that you can like press it and it will blink the QR code so you can use it as a Bitcoin wallet. But he also is, he made a snap bracelet, but he's also working on having it be an NFC unlocker for his computer. So when he puts his wrist over his mouse, the mouse will read the NFC tag and it will tell the computer to unlock the computer. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I'm sure it's something totally awesome, and there's this little NFC tag, and it's super cute. And that's the people that were on the show and tell.
All right. Lady Ada, everybody on the show and tell gets an as seen on the show and tell sticker. Support at adafruit.com gets you that sticker. How does someone get on the show and tell, though?
Getting on the show and tell is super easy. Go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+Adafruit and find the thread where we say comment here to get added to our show and tell circle. Comment there, and you will join the 300 plus other totally cool people like me and PT and this 3D printed Washington who are hanging out in the show and tell circle, and you'll be invited every single week, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. to show off your project.
The show and tell is my favorite time of the week because it's not about us talking about things.
We don't have to show anything. We just get to watch.
We just get to hang out and meet lots of people who use our stuff, use our code, use things that we didn't even know about, things from other people in the open source community.
I really like the DDR pad because that's cool. Like, people are still making DDR pads. I like that.
I think there's certain hardware projects that are kind of hello world projects where you know your platform is kind of working out when someone makes a Dance Dance Revolution project with it. So I kind of feel like, so I've been waiting for that project to happen since we did Bluefruit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you play DDR?
Yeah.
I never really. I mean, I kind of played.
Okay.
I'm clumsy.
But what I really like it's if you have a good platform and you do a good job, someone will use it to play DDR.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Well, what's smart is that if you want to play DDR on like a tablet, it's actually, this is the easiest way to do it because you want a wireless link because your tablet's like hanging out in space, and you don't. Sometimes the tablets don't even have a USB port, so you can't connect a USB device. Some tablets they don't. So it's actually a really smart way to do it. No cables, and it's just sitting on the ground, and then you just whatever, the moving game.
Okay. Well, I am going to zip along here. We got a lot of stuff tonight, Lady Ada.
Okay.
All right, first up, some news in the maker world. MakerCon Bay Area is coming up. Now, you're probably saying, wait, that sounds just like a Maker Faire. Well, it turns out Make is doing its first ever MakerCon. It's May 14th to 13th.
Wait, what's the difference between MakerCon and
Well,
Maker Faire?
Instead of Maker Faire just being Saturday and Sunday, they're doing MakerCon, so it's a full week of stuff.
Whoa!
Yeah, so MakerCon 2014. Pretty soon it'll be Maker Month. And
Wait,
then Maker Year.
so this is the overlapping with Maker Faire.
Yeah, it's MakerCon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that's a big deal.
All right. Well, everyone else is probably asking the same questions I am because it's like.
I know.
So this is. So when is Maker Faire?
Well, it's right around then. I don't know. I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but MakerCon is 13th and 14th. So
is this at the hotel?
This is good questions you're asking that are all available when you follow the link. I only have so much room on the screen to get this slide on.
My favorite part of Maker Faire is the hotel, because we would hang out there and just people would come by the lobby and it would be like a con.
Yeah.
People would be like walking by with their robots and be like, hey, what's that robot?
I think my favorite memory of Maker Faire was the first one, and it was just a handful of us running Maker Faire, and all the demos and everything that I had this Roomba thing going on, and nothing was working, and it was about to be the most horrible thing, and then 30,000 or 40,000 people showed up, and then at the last second, everything just came together. So it was like
exciting.
It was like a panicky roller coaster.
I remember I had to give workshops, and I was like, hey, don't forget to have 20 sets of soldering irons and tools, and they didn't get the switch to run to Home Depot and got super crummy tools. But everything's awesome now, and I will probably go to MakerCon.
Okay, next up. File this under We Are What We Celebrate. This is the cover of Wired Italy looks like another cover that I remember not too long ago of Wired. And this is a person who does Fab Lab stuff. So one of the things that we always like to see in the world is when pop culture magazines, including technology magazines, I'd say Wire is in that world. You know, they're not Entertainment Weekly or anything as far as pop culture goes, but they help change perceptions and things. And we are what we celebrate. And this was really neat. This is a woman who does Fab Labs out in Italy, and that reminds me of a previous cover. There you are on Wired a few years ago. Then Italy had Remade in Italy with Massimo, and then there's Brie in the center.
Look at those cool hipster glasses that Massimo's wearing. Those are cool.
Yeah.
And he's got a wrench.
2 out of 3 people have to have cool-looking glasses. You just had cool goggles.
Yeah, well, they're like, you can't have goggles and glasses. I don't know.
So I'm just saying.
Okay. You're into it?
Ways to change the world. Put what you want to see on magazine covers now. The magazines may go away, but everything like magazines, iPad apps that have covers or whatever, it's important, I think.
Okay.
It's important. Okay, next up.
I'd love to read it. I wish I could read Italian.
This one is for you. So, Lady Ada, you did the Zoxbox a long time ago, and it looks like Roland's reintroducing this. Did you see this crazy thing?
This is something different. This is some tuner thing. I can't quite see what this is, but this is that voice changer.
Yeah.
So they are re-releasing a whole bunch of their designs. So they're doing the TB303, basically the TB3.
Yeah.
And it's basically an extension. It sounds similar to the original 303. I only heard like one basic demo, and then they're also doing an 808.
Yeah. Why do you think they're doing this?
Because they can make money on it. No, because I think that they kind of went into more advanced machines, but I think a lot of people there is always music that sounds similar to music from like 20 years ago, and there is a lot of kind of minimalist techno. People want to recreate that acid sound, and like you can't get TB303s anymore. I think they're like $1,000, $2,000, very expensive, and they're probably like, hey, there's a market. We can make it for $300, which is pretty cheap. People like to have physical music playing. It's like everyone's gone to laptops, so now it's like, well, let's go back to non-laptops.
So here's my question for you:
backlash.
If their Roland version of this 303, if they re-released it back when you started or were thinking about the Zoxbox, would you still do a Zoxbox, or would you just say, they're re-releasing it, forget it?
I think I would still do it because first off, it's not the same. The components that they got, they're not going to use the same components. And this one, the Zoxbox is still open source. You can modify it. Mm-hmm. You can, we had DIN sync and MIDI, and we had like USB, and you could modify it, and you can change the LED colors, and you can change. And people did change the sequencer. They changed the way the sequencer worked, and we added a couple things as well that we wanted. We changed the sequencer because we thought it would be easier to use. So it'd be interesting to see whether they cloned more of their old sequencer or more of our sequencer design, because that's what the Zoxbox was basically the sequencer was the new thing. The circuitry was, we basically just looked exactly at the circuitry that they had before. But I think that there's still, people want to have an analog circuit where with this you can go in and you can tweak it. And with the TB3, I'm sure it's all like on an ASIC. I'm sure it's super simplified.
Yeah.
You can't go in there like on people were like modifying, adding switches and pots, changing the range of the potentiometers by like, putting inline or series resistors and stuff. This is stuff that you can't do with something that's like just a glob top epoxy. I mean, they're going to make it as cheap as possible. Yeah. Right.
Well, I wanted to ask that question because I wanted the audience out there to hear this. That's cool that you still would have done it, because the Zoxbox is one of the things that got you to where you're at. It was your first big product.
More importantly, it's still out there. Yeah. I mean, like, people are still making Zoxboxes. They're still modding them. If you want to have like, a devilfish mod, like we documented how to do that for like, it's like $10 in parts. So you can tweak it out. And I like that people tweaked out their Zoxboxes. I think almost everybody did some sort of mod.
Yeah.
Whether it was changing the color of the case or, tweaking firmware. And a lot of people released new firmwares. And there's still firmwares out there that people are releasing with with update, because it can control the analog section digitally.
Yeah.
So you have the benefit of like an analog sound with the digital sequencer that is basically an AVR, Arduino sort of thing.
Well, good work on that. I remember helping you ship lots of boxes. That was intense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mega 644. I think that's the model we used.
Next up,
It was 64.
some news on our blog. I just wanted to show this off. We're seeing people make really neat
that's
light
cool.
paintings. Someone did Happy 14th Birthday, Sophia, and this is using Phil B's Paint Your Dragon NeoPixel Painter, and he did this. This is the tutorial. He has a little dragon, and what we're seeing is all sorts of fun creativity. In this month's Popular Science, look for Phil B in the how-to section, and you'll see the NeoPixel Painter in there. And congratulations on Phil for being in print. We have some copies. It was fun to see one of Adafruit's smartest folks in print. We are what we celebrate.
This is a great project. He did such a good job with this. I love this kind of like animation GIF thing going on there.
Okay, next up, Pack the Mailbag is here. Deliver mailbag letters from people around the world, sending us news and letters and all sorts of stuff. This is from Drew. As a student, I just want to say how amazing your idea and website is. The tutorials are super helpful, but challenging enough where I still have to force myself to learn new concepts, but not too much to get overwhelmed. Your forums are super awesome as well. Just want to say an extra thank you. Respectfully, Drew. That's very nice.
Thanks, Drew.
Okay, next up, this is...
Bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
That's Nimbus's song, by the way.
Nimbus's song.
That's not a phone.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this Internet of Things project that I posted up today. So this is an aquarium that uses an Arduino. It's Internet of Things thing. And what you do is you get in line, and when your time comes, you can feed the fish. And you can always do the bubbler.
Okay.
So Internet of Things connected aquarium.
So this is like the benefit of having like a webcam aquarium, but you also get to bubble?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that. But I wanted
I'm
to
sure
ask
there's like 5,000 people.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you were to start thinking about a Internet of Things project, and you wanted to do this, what things would someone need to do something like this?
Okay, to do a project like this, I would actually use a Raspberry Pi. And the reason I would use a Raspberry Pi is because there's the camera, and the camera is kind of like the annoying part. Like you can't use an Arduino because it's very hard to get photos. Like video and photos through an Arduino. So I'd use a Raspberry Pi. And for the web stuff, the wait time, that actually, you'd have to write some custom software for that, like some sort of queuing software to do that. But, you know, you'd have a Raspberry Pi, you'd connect a GPIO to like a solenoid or a relay to control the bubbler. That's really easy. And so when people click the button, the Raspberry Pi reads that button and then sets a GPIO to bubble the bubbler, and then maybe there's a timeout so it doesn't bubble too much. And then for the feeder, I would actually probably put the little shaker. Isn't it usually in a shaker thingy?
It could be that, yeah.
Yeah, I'd put it on a servo, and so the servo would twist, and it would shake, you know, once every 30 minutes or so. So that's probably how I would do that. And that's, you know, a solenoid or relay for the bubbler. I don't know how bubblers work exactly. And then a servo for the shaker. And those are two things that are very easy to control the Raspberry Pi, and we have tutorials for. And then there's also tutorials for how to, we don't have a tutorial, but there are tutorials out there for how to use the Raspberry Pi webcam as a webcam. Sorry, the camera as a webcam, so you can stream video or photos, and also do motion detection as well. So I think, you know, this could be done probably in 2 weekends by someone who even is a beginner.
All right. Well,
is that what you were on? I don't know.
I do, because here's the thing.
I don't know how they built this.
No, and maybe they did something different. I just want to know how you would suggest people get started.
Yeah.
So, okay.
This is a good Raspberry Pi one because it's easy to internet connect.
Okay. Next up, some news in the world of open source hardware. Lots of things this week. This one is kind of neat. Everyone's favorite hacker from NYC Resistor, Trammell, is using a BeagleBone to drive a 30th anniversary Macintosh.
Yeah.
So you just got to check out these photos and all the stuff that's going on.
It's cool.
There's our cape for doing prototyping. There's a BeagleBone blog. It's kind of neat to watch people do all this neat stuff with a BeagleBone. And he was playing graphics and animations and videos.
What's cool is that it's because it's a classic Mac. It looks like an SC or something. You only need black and white.
Yeah.
So it's actually not that hard to get. It's not even grayscale. I mean, it's black and white pixels.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's only like 320 by 240. Or 400 by 300 pixels or something. So it's actually well within the capabilities of even an Arduino to drive that kind of graphics. So yeah, that's cool.
Okay. And speaking of, because we're in the open source hardware section, and BeagleBone is an open source hardware project and product, we have our BeagleBone contest. So we're in week 2 right now, or maybe week 3.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in week 3 right now, but we just finished up week 2. Here is the latest 10 winners. If you have a BeagleBone, and just take a picture of it in a project, and then just tweet or post somewhere, and all you have to do is put pound BeagleBone black case, and we're just finding people all over the web, and we're signing and we're sending them cases. So this is
it's a 3D printer.
3D printer. This is using
barometric
some
pressure sensor.
Sensors from Adafruit. This is a
PIR sensor.
Sensor for rooms, yeah.
Yeah, room sensor.
This is an equalizer thing, I think.
Some sort of web thing with bar graphs.
Here's another project.
This is some wireless, a CC2530. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a Bluetooth low energy thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Ooh, little robot.
Yeah, 3D printed cases for the BeagleBone.
Ooh, like octo.
Yeah.
Pod.
Here's this thing that opens up doors, I believe.
Yeah, that's a door opener.
Yeah. Here's a little thing where you type in the code and you get access granted. Okay. Here's a 3D printed case for one that goes with the Ninja blocks. So cool projects all around. Keep it up. Everyone can win. Neat stuff. Next up in the world of open source hardware, Arduino. Arduino is doing something really cool. It's Arduino Day coming up on March 29th. So
all the Arduinos.
Yeah, so March 29th there's going to be worldwide events. Sign up on the Arduino site.
I have a question.
ArduinoDay.tv.
So the date is March 29th.
Yeah.
So that's 329. Shouldn't it be 328?
Why would it be
That's like my little A because it's at Mega 328.
Yeah, that's funny.
Maybe it's one more. Maybe it's the day after the
328p. 328p.
It's a 328p plus one.
So the day, and there's significance to the date, but if you want to hold an event, you can go to Arduino day.tv.
We're probably going to attend.
We're probably going to go to the ITP event, and then Massimo might be on our show and tell around then too. So we're doing stuff. We hope to have a big Arduino announcement soon. I'm just waiting for Massimo to send me a document, and then maybe we're going to make there's a big thing we're working on with Arduino. Okay. So I'm working on. This is what. So there's what other cities is happening in? This is happening in New everywhere,
York?
Worldwide.
I know. But where are
on the moon?
Okay.
Everywhere.
Forget it.
Yeah. Okay.
Everywhere. In your house.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Adafruit Learning System. We have a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. We did a lot of tutorials.
Yeah. So let's go through these pretty fast, Lady Ada. So this is the first one. This one we released last week. This is the stereo audio.
I just didn't finish it because I had to write some more tutorials, but I released it this week. It was up last week. This is our tutorial for the TPA 2016 digital auto gain control AGC stereo audio amplifier. It's an audio amp. We have a couple of stereo audio amps. This one is I2C controlled, so it's really good if you have a microcontroller in your project and you want to have hardcore like filtering and changing and like levels, and you can change the automatic gain control and compression, and it's pretty intense. You can use it without I2C, but it's not very useful. I would use it with I2C so you can set the gain and stuff. So I wrote a tutorial about how to use it. It's great. Works with 4 ohm, 8 ohm speakers, bone conduction transducers, all sorts of stuff. Check it out.
Okay, next up. This is going to go with a product we're going to show off tonight, but this is the Adafruit LED backpack.
This
uses
is
the bicolor 24.
Yeah. We have one page for all the Adafruit LED backpacks because they're all using the same chipset, the Holtec 16K33, which is the best I2C LED backpack I've ever used. And so that's why we're using it in everything. And in this project, we're using it to light up a 24-bar graph, which I will be demoing soon. It's actually brighter than that photo. I have to brighten up that photo. It's hard to photograph LEDs if you've ever photographed LEDs. You have to tweak the colors. But it's an I2C backpack. You can have 24 bicolor LED bars. We have it moving here right now, so we'll demo it. There's a lovely Arduino connected showing how it lights up. And we have demo code, and it's just easy to use.
Okay. Next up, this is making Adabot Part 2. This is from Rick, and he is one of the folks that was on the show and tell. And he has these amazing bots, and he shows you how to make them. And check out this cute little video. So this is the bot that you can make, and you use our little IR.
Oh, I'm doubled.
Yeah.
Just as much as
Oh,
me.
we're doubled?
Hi.
Yeah, it happens.
Hello. Sorry, there you go. That's me. So this little robot uses, I believe it's an Arduino, and it's got some servos, and the servos are in the feet, and the servos rotate to make it move. And to make it easy to move, he's got what he's holding in his hand there is our little 4-button RF remote, and so it's just like a really easy way to turn on and off servos to move the head and the arms and the legs. So it's a cute little project. You can, in the body, you can see all the electronics. So we had part 1, which I think was mostly mechanics. Part 2 is a little bit more in electronics, and then part 3 is, I think, finishing up. So you can see how there's little LED eyes and little LED mouth, and it's moving around. So
okay.
if you're building this project, we'll have part 3 out soon.
Next up, this is the teardown guide from the Reebok check light that we showed off today during Wearable Wednesdays and the Wearable Electronics Show with Becky Stern.
I took this thing apart.
Whoops. So let me
Wait,
get back to this one.
Go back.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lady Ada took this apart. 6 minutes of reverse engineering and talking about how a piece of consumer electronics made for fitness with all these sensors, some of them we carry, some very similar sensors, can be
there's some goodies in there, some known goodies. We also we learned a lot about techniques for working with Flex PCB by seeing how they did what they did. It's an interesting design.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
And then this one is from last week. This is the NeoPixel ring clock. And you can wear this, you can put it on your desk, all sorts of things. So
this is your personal style. So this combines the 24 LED ring with the 12 LED ring. And then what is the 24 LED ring is minutes, right? Or seconds. And then the 12 LED ring is used for hours. And so there's 2 rings concentrically because they fit inside of each other. Or maybe it's a 16 LED ring. I don't remember exactly which one. But I think it's the 12 and the 24. And it runs off of a Gemma, right? And it's got a GPS as a clock. So that's actually kind of cool because it automatically gets the perfect time. You just leave it near the window for a couple of minutes. It lights up cool. You can wear it as a necklace, as shown down there. It is part of Becky's personal style. So she was wearing that today.
Yeah. All right. So next up, Time Travel Tuesday. This is when we have all sorts of things in the world of science, making, and more. This week is a very fun week because great timing. I wanted to post about our coloring book, but I didn't really have a reason. And 1745, Volta, inventor of the battery, is born. And that's an important thing for us because V is for Volta.
Wow, look at it. Go back. Go back one.
Go back one?
Yeah, I want to compare this drawing.
You want to see what...
Volta.
Yeah.
Okay, and then...
Volta you can color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So voltage...
Drawing those discs.
Voltage, measured in volts, is the potential electric energy per unit charge between 2 points. Voltage is like air or water pressure. The higher the voltage, the more it can push electrons through a circuit. The Volta is named after Alessandro Volta, who invented the voltaic pile, one of the first batteries. Very cool stuff.
What's cool is, like, in French, I think it's still called a pile.
Yeah.
A battery pile.
So all of that is in Lady Ada's E is for Electronics coloring book. You have your own coloring book.
Yes.
Yeah. So...
color it in.
Yeah.
Don't color the lines. Just color wherever you want.
You can buy a copy from us. You can get it 10% off.
You can print it out.
You can also print it out because we put it under Creative Commons because we wanted the world to learn electronics through coloring. Next up, wearable time. So every week we have the coolest roundup of wearable electronics in the world. Wednesdays we have wearable electronics with Becky Stern. So I don't have to play the video that I used to play on Ask an Engineer. I have some of the stuff that I want to cover. Okay. So the cosplay stuff that was on the blog this week so far and last week. This is some costuming that Amy, our cosplay blogger, posted up, and this is just someone, they make their costumes. This is Electra, and what I like about our series of posts is you don't only get to see the costume, but how things were made. So these is how the size, the weapons were made. So check out...
Do you know how to fight with these things? You learn how to fight?
Yeah, a little bit, but
yeah.
I
you
wasn't
poke
very,
people with it.
Yeah, I wasn't very good with it.
Okay.
And then the other wearable project that I really like, these Rick, big ups for Rick. He's on like the Ask an Engineer show 3 times this week. He made his own versions of Firewalker shoes with a 3D enclosed Gemma, 3D printed enclosed Gemma. And do check these out. These look super cool. It looks like they were made like there's like you can get these in a store, but he made these himself. So that is Wearable Electronics. Next up, 3D. So it was New York Fashion Week, and of course, lots of 3D printed fashion. I think that's going to be something we can see a lot of from the materials changing to lots of different things.
I feel really bad for the guys at Shapeways because they're probably like, tasked with 3D printing. You just print out this dress, right?
Yeah, well, before it was like, quick, we need this thing dry cleaned or repaired. Now it's like, hurry up and print this dress out. We're going to be on the runway soon. So lots of 3D printed stuff. Another thing that was on the blog this week, this really cool little 3D printer case for our LCD. And I guess the star of the 3D printing show today, this is from the 3D Printing Expo. This is the crowdsourced George Washington bust. And this is living on Matt's desk. Matt is the director of support and community.
George, is this bust doing support now?
No, Matt's doing that and his team, but this is...
this is like larger than life.
Yeah, and so each one of these pieces was crowdsourced and printed by someone, and then it was sent in. And here, if you scoot back a little bit, I can spin it around.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and so,
I'm in the way.
This is living here at Adafruit for a little bit, and you can see these are all little...
I like how it's all like different.
3D
Like there's
printed.
gray and translucent white and like the sky blue and black and like pink.
Yeah.
And yellow, and then
is,
there's
like
like
this is
there's like
really
wood.
Big print.
Somebody like printed like wood or something. I don't know if you can print
Yeah.
wood. Blue, clear.
And if you go to
Red.
wethebuilders.com, you can see the history of the project. And then I have a few photos of here's it being assembled here, all the different pieces. Very cool. And people send in all the different pieces, and then you assemble
Yeah, this is neat.
And so, the big secret that no one knows is this isn't the original one. The original one I've stolen.
Wait, you stole this?
No, this is a copy. See, I printed an exact duplicate, and no one will ever find out.
Wow. You're like the 3D printing forger.
Yeah, and so...
It's a forgery.
Yeah, I had synchronized watches, Ocean 11 type thing. I snuck in. I replaced it with an identical one. Matt
The other one has like this spot is green, not white.
No, I printed that out too. I used a 3D scanner to scan the thing in. It was great.
Okay.
So anyways.
You're sneaky.
Yeah, this guy's gonna stay over here.
How long do you think it took in hours to print that
All
out?
together, thousands of hours.
Thousands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Okay.
So let me...
It took like a month in a row. All right.
All right.
Little guy, you stay there.
We're in some like weird 80s video. Okay.
Okay. Take on me.
Yeah. Next up, so we have some Pi stuff.
Pi Day.
And then after Pi stuff, we're going to try to get through new products. So for
Yeah,
Pi Day, I just had a couple that I wanted to talk about this week. So for Pi Day, I'm noticing a trend here.
Okay.
First one is, you have an old computer, put a Raspberry Pi in it. If it doesn't
Yeah.
work, And so this was one that was on Hackaday. This is a really nice one. This is
Aw,
a
that's
Pi
cute.
that runs one of those little beautiful old terminals. And then there was a Pi robot. I thought that was
Pi
kind of
bot.
neat.
Okay, little hex wheel bot.
And then last up,
Wait, that's huge. Wait, go back.
Yeah.
That's a gigantic robot.
Yeah, it's a big robot.
You can see the scale with the PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
So this thing is like what, like 3 feet by 4 feet?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a huge robot. You
Huge
can probably
robot.
ride it.
Okay, watch out.
And then last up on the Adafruit Learning System, a Raspberry Pi garage door opener. And this is by Lewis, who was on our show and tell before.
Yes.
So cool bunch of stuff to do and to share and to see in the Pi section. Before we go into new products, don't forget the code is Qualia. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store, except for EagleCAD and gift certificates.
Yep.
And don't forget the free deals all apply. You can get free UPS ground, 200 and more continental US, and from a proto half-size breadboard. So Lady Ada, it is that time.
Is it time?
Where you sparkle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it time for me to do my new?
It's time.
Okay, hold on. So the first thing.
Okay.
First thing. Okay, wait.
What?
I'm getting my demo ready. No, because I'm about to demo. I'm like, you throw me right into the demo here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
All right, just throw me in there. Okay.
So first new product we have. I guess you can look over if you want.
Yeah. I'm trying. No, I know it. I know
You
it's
want
up.
to talk about this? It's
Yeah.
a mic amp. All right.
This is a automatic gain microphone amp. So we have another microphone amp in the store already that's just a linear mic amp. And this one on the back, we have the Max 9814 chip. And this is a special kind of microphone, electret microphone amplifier chip. So most electret microphone amplifiers are just like, if you get 50 millivolts in, it multiplies it by 10 and gives you 500 millivolts out or whatever, or multiplies it by 100. The gain is fixed. You want 100 gain or 200 gain or whatever. It's a fixed gain. And this is a very special chip that is made by Maxim, and it's an automatic gain control chip. And what that means is that it samples the audio levels over like the period of like 5 to 10 milliseconds, and if the sound is getting louder and louder, it reduces the gain. And it does this to keep the audio from clipping. So you always get like a fixed amount of voltage. You always get about like 2 volts peak to peak. I mean, if it's really quiet, it won't be that loud. But it tries to adjust the peaks so that you don't get too loud or too quiet. And it's actually a really good quality amp. And what's neat is if you connect this up to a pair of headphones, like in the demo, we have a tutorial demo for it. If you hook it up to headphones, it has such good gain that it actually kind of sounds like a spy mic. You can actually hear very far away because it quiets down all the nearby sounds and amplifies far away sounds so that you get like a weird like super hearing effect. Oh, yeah. And
I remember when you showed me this demo, I was like, wow, I can hear what was going on across the Adafruit factory.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So if we go to the overhead, I can try to show. I just have it hooked up pretty simply to, actually hooked up to a bar graph. And so you can see when I'm talking, it has the bar graph go up. And if I'm talking quietly, it's not as much.
What about me? Hello, hello, hello.
But what's interesting is that if I make really loud sounds, it eventually reduces the gain even more. And then it comes back up. So let me, I'll actually demo, so we have to be quiet because otherwise it gets confused. Testing, testing. So you see if you have a loud sound, it quickly reduces the gain and then it's very quiet. And then if you have like kind of medium sounds, it'll take a while for it to change the gain back and forth. But you see, it never actually gets to max volume. No matter how close I am, it'll always make it so that, you know, if I'm far or close, no matter what the distance, it'll always try to keep the volume to kind of within like 3 bars if it's quiet. Oh, shoot. Up to, wait, I just broke it. Up to about, sorry. Up to about, 20 bars or so. So this is really good. When would you use this? So this is a very good microphone amplifier to use if you are like doing voice detection or voice reading, and you don't know how far people are going to be from the microphone. If we were using a fixed gain mic, it would be very difficult. It would be either too loud or too quiet. With this, it adjusts the gain quite a bit to try to get it right in the middle. So it's good for that. It's good if you're doing like recording of music and you don't know how loud it's going to be. So instead of having to tweak the gain, you just depend on the microphone's built-in gain. So there you go.
All right, moving later on here, we have a clock. Clock.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the clock kit. It's got a nice matrix. We wanted to have some more clocks. Just a cute clock. It's kind of got this funky, kind of Greekish look to it with fonts and stuff.
And you make it yourself.
You make it yourself. We don't have one assembled, but check out the webpage. There's a whole bunch of kits.
All right.
And photos.
And making a reappearance here, this is the bar graphs that we just saw that was on your demo.
That's right. So this is the bar graph that's shown in the demo, and it's bicolor. So each pixel can be red or green, or both red and green, which makes yellow. So even though it's bicolor, it can show 3 colors because there's the combination of the colors. And this is a demo photo of it, and then I can reset the overhead. Yeah, sure. And I'll reset it, and it will go into red, yellow, green mode. Is this autofocusing or no?
I can do that if you'd like.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll bring it much closer. Okay, and then. So you can see it. It does flicker a little bit because it's multiplexed. Yeah. But you can see there's green, yellow, red pixels, and then it goes back into the demo mode. Yeah. We have basically library code that allows you to set, the color of pixels any way you want. The modules they're a little thick. They're through hole. You can use them without the backpack. Can you go back to the bar graphs?
Yeah.
Go back 2.
This one?
Yeah. They're through hole, so you can plug them into a breadboard if you want. They're multiplex though because of the bicolor thing. There isn't one LED per pin. It's sort of like, it looks kind of like a 3x4 matrix. So it's a little bit weird. It's not like some single color bar graphs that are a lot easier to use, where like each pin is like one LED. It's not like that because they wanted to cram 12 bars, 2 LEDs per 24 LEDs, and they didn't want to have like every single LED brought out. So it is a matrix, so that's why we use a backpack to do the multiplexing. We sell the bar graphs individually, but unless you're like really hardcore and you're totally cool with writing your own multiplex driver, I would just get the backpack.
Okay. All right, and then next up, did we want to bring this one out?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that. We just put that in today.
Yeah.
So we don't have our own photo, but we have the product photos, and this is
weird and cool. This is a plant camera.
This is a plant camera. This
is it a camera that plants use, or is it a camera that you use to take photos of plants? No,
it's this is the Infogram DIY plant analysis webcam. So actually, what's interesting is it's this is what the Pi Noir cam was sort of based on. Yeah. It's a camera that has no IR filter. And that allows it to get infrared light. And apparently, if you use special software analysis, you can use the lack of the infrared filter, which means there's more infrared light. You can use that sensing to like see or chlorophyll is distributed in a plant. I haven't actually quite used this. We just got this in today. But if you're doing like plant work, this is really good for research. Yeah. If you do time-lapse plant photography, I guess like, some people probably do
the overhead and just show the outside packaging.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you want me to take this apart and show it off?
No, we got to get on to the next one.
Okay, we got to get on to the next one. But we will, maybe we'll show this off in more, in more detail. But yeah, it's a webcam. You have to plug into a computer. There's a plant. It's by publiclab.org. I believe they did a Kickstarter, and this is open source hardware. And we told them, they wanted us to like, support the Kickstarter. We said, hey, why don't you just let us know when it's over, and we'll probably carry your camera once you've shipped them all to your backers. And they did. Yeah. So here we go.
Yeah, I guess if anyone's watching in the future or live now, we get asked during the middle of Kickstarters if we'll carry stuff, and we always say the same thing. After you ship everything to your backers, let us know, because it's really not fair to the backers if you're sending stuff to us and people can buy it, but your backers still didn't get it. So we just made a policy to make it easy on us and easy on everybody else. So when you're done shipping to all the people that you promised that you would have stuff to, let us know, and then we can do that. And we think that's good. Yeah. Good policy, fair for everybody. Okay, and then last one, and this is the big one, and we only have a few minutes, so we'll just go through this. This is our new display. Adafruit has a display. You can have a display from Adafruit. Okay. It is a big deal.
Is it a display, though?
It's a display. Okay. So this is a DisplayPort monitor, and it's, I think, one of the coolest things. It's a Retina, an iPad Retina display inside of it.
It's the same display as used in the iPad for your iPad 4. It's a Retina display. It's about 2,000 by 1,500 pixels. So it's extremely high resolution. It's also incredibly bright. It's got a really beautiful backlight. Yeah. This is sort of the default background, and it's like you can actually see like every pixel. It's full of stars.
Yeah, and we sell this.
And it works natively with any Mac, pretty much, right? Yeah. Every single Mac has DisplayPort. You just plug it in directly into your Thunderbolt. It comes with a Thunderbolt cable. The only thing you have to put together is the enclosure, which is acrylic, but it takes like 15, 20 minutes, and you just need like a little screwdriver. Put it together, and you can also, if you don't want to have it in a case, you don't have to put it in the case. We use them here, actually, for photo and video editing. We have the small monitor on the side, and we use that for previewing because it's not too big.
Right now, I have mine plugged into my iPad Air that's doing the chat and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chat window on this computer over here, and you'll see how tiny it is because it's such high resolution. And I'll just hold this up here. but this is what you guys look like to me on the screen. So this is the screen is plugged into my Mac. This is a live demo. Here's the back,
if you're using it for video or graphics, you can have it at the high resolution. But I believe with the Mac, you can change the resolution of the screen too. So if you want it to be like not so high resolution,
you can.
It'll use like subpixel addressing to make it bigger seeming. I mean, you don't have to do it now, but
and you can. And one of the things, I'm going to go over to my displays right now.
Okay.
So on the displays,
so show me, hold this up.
Yeah, I guess we can try to.
So you say best for, you can say scaled resolution.
Yeah, and so let me go over to this one here. So
scale.
Yeah, if you could do best for resolution, you can do scaled. It has.
Oh, go down to like 13 by 10.
Yeah, and it'll change. So
then now it's.
Yeah, you don't want to hold it that way because the camera is set to focus back here.
Okay.
So anyways, you can make it larger, the resolution too. So this is really handy. People who do any type of photo editing, any video editing, this is a fantastic secondary monitor.
It's also really good looking. Like it's way better than most monitors. Like the color is really bright and distributed. Yeah. It looks good up close, but you can also change the resolution. But yeah, we were doing it where we do the photo editing with one. But it's just handy as like a secondary monitor. I just think it's really cool to like you can the raw monitor the raw display can be turned into a monitor. It just needs like a helper board. So we designed this PCB that goes on the back, and it does like all the management. The tough part was the backlight. Yeah. We actually found what was suspiciously a good chip for doing this backlight control, which makes me think that this chip was actually designed by Linear Tech specifically for Apple to do their backlight management. Because I'm like, wow, this is like a perfect chip. Because there's 16 strands of 12 LEDs. So you need like, or 9 LEDs. So you need 22 volts. And it has to be like 16 strings. So it has to be like this perfectly balanced backlight, but we got it working. It took a couple revisions, and it's a really, really lovely display.
And so one of the things I'm going to do is when my little tiny Mac Pro comes in, I'm going to probably mount the little screen on top. We're working on using the iPad mini Retina displays for even a smaller one.
Yeah.
And Qualia is our name of these displays. If you have DisplayPort on a PC, should be okay.
Somebody said it worked on their DisplayPort PC, but it has to be a native DisplayPort. You can't use an HDMI to DisplayPort adapter that we know of because HDMI actually can't handle that resolution.
Yeah, and then the other thing that someone had a question about is, let me find it here. Oh, is there any Linux drivers for anything yet? Like if you have a DisplayPort native for
if it's
Linux.
Native DisplayPort and you can unfortunately the easiest way to test if you have a friend who has like a Mac monitor that's DisplayPort, if it works with that, it'll work with this because it's basically a Apple monitor that's just like super small and it doesn't have an Apple logo on it.
Yeah, and so
but it's the same display cell that they use.
And so this is the only DIY monitor kit that I know of in the world, and it's Qualia, and it's our new product, and we're really happy.
The Commodore 64.
We're really happy about it, and that's why the code is Qualia. And if you want one of these, we only have a few left. These went really fast. The code is Qualia. And so with that, Lady Ada, that's the new products. Good work.
Yay!
Good work, you. Okay, we're gonna speed round a little bit because we only got a few minutes for questions. So, folks, go ahead and start.
Oh, in the meantime, can I show a little bit more of my demo just because I was...
I
didn't know if we had time.
While everyone's asking engineering questions.
So this is actually the microphone that we have in the store now. And, move this down. And you'll see it doesn't have, if I move far away, it moves, the LED bar is moving, but it doesn't move that far. But if I change it back to, 1 second. The auto gain mic, you see it uses more of the bar graph goes higher. The gain has been increased so that it uses more of the range. So that's a quick way to demo, like, okay, auto gain control, and then no auto gain control. So not, you can see that the gain is like maybe 3 less than it should be to use the entire range. So,
okay, Lady, here's some questions.
Okay. Ask questions.
Okay, next
bar
up,
graphs.
Can the bar graph pack be shortened to a single block of 12?
You can, but you have to cut it.
Okay.
Not really suggested.
Okay. Next
you can just not solder in one bar. That's actually probably a better way of doing it.
Next up, is there brightness control on the Qualia DisplayPort monitor?
There is. Oh, I didn't even get to talk about that. See, I was so enamored by the quality or something. Yeah, so one of the things that we did is on the back, there's an AT-Tiny85, a little AVR, an 8-pin, 8-bit micro. And the source code is actually in the tutorial. I think I put it up on GitHub, or I have a gist for it. And it does a full backlight control. I set it to like 2 to 255 out of 255, so it dims all the way down, all the way up, basically. And it stores the backlight in EEPROM. If you want to, you can reprogram the AVR to handle the backlight however you want. If you wanted to add like capacitive touch or something, or you wanted to add like a light sensor, you can totally do that. I only use like 2 or 3 of the pins. So there's like 3 pins left over on the AVR that I'm not using. But I just basically did button high, low, up, down, and off.
Okay, next up. What would you suggest for reading the bridge from a kitchen scale load cell onto an Arduino? Instrument amplifier, fancy ADC with programming gain, or something else?
Honestly, I would not connect directly to a load cell because you need like 24 bits of ADC. And it's just really hard to read load cells. I would just get a scale that has serial output. You can get like a postal scale. We have a tutorial about like serial output postal scales. Yeah. It's a serial output, and it just like spits out like, you know, the pounds or ounces or grams or whatever in ASCII, and just it's like $20. It's probably cheaper and easier, and it's ready to go, and you don't have to do that much hacking.
Okay. Next up, what type of connection is on the Qualia in the back for?
It's DisplayPort.
Okay.
Can I hold this up like close to me?
Yeah, okay. As long as it's close to you, that you can.
Okay, so you can see.
It's right there.
Here, sorry. Here, this white. This is a DisplayPort standard. So DisplayPort's like a standard connector. So yeah, it comes with a DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort. Pretty much every computer uses that. If you have a DisplayPort large style connector on your computer, just get a cable from like your local computer store. Every Mac, which is what we assume most people will be using this for, because it needs native DisplayPort, uses mini DisplayPort.
Okay. Next up, is the AT-Tiny85 reprogrammable?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. Go to town.
All right. And next up, have you ever tried the Arduino motor shield with the Yun?
You know, I haven't. I have not had time to do Yun stuff. I've been finishing up the Qualia and all these little breakouts. But the Adafruit motor shield should be compatible with any Arduino because it uses only the I2C pins and it uses only the wire library. So there's like, I haven't tested it, but there's like a 99% chance it'll work with the Yun.
Yeah. And then
the V2 shield. That
any plans for a Qualia with a VESA mount? We're probably going to do an injection molded thing. We'll probably have different type of mounts. We're going to see how this goes.
Yeah, we're going to start with this, and then you know the thing is we're going to release the laser cut enclosure files, and then you can just like attach whatever you want.
Okay. All right, we have to give something away. So tonight I am going to give away a Adafruit coloring book.
Yeah. Can I give away a bar graph?
And a bar graph. We're going to give away both.
Bar graph kit.
So
you get the kit with the bar graphs and the I2C thing, so you can make your own.
I'm going to make this really easy. Whoever types the URL first in either the YouTube comments or the live chat here on Ustream, they're both about synced up now, and puts the URL of the Adafruit coloring book in the chat, because now everyone will be able to click that link afterwards.
The URL for what, the PDF?
Just the product page or the
product page.
It's fine. Okay. Either one.
Whatever.
Either one is okay. Whichever one I see first.
Okay.
I will award the prize, and the rules are: can't win unless
you can't win this prize if you've won before. Only one winner per hour lifetime. First person to type in the chat or the YouTube chat is the winner of these fine gifts.
And
prizes.
It looks like Games Dragon Unlimited.
Nice work, Game
Dragon. Unlimited. Congratulations, Games Dragon.
Games Dragons.
Oh no, sorry, United, not Unlimited.
United.
Congratulations.
Game Dragons United.
So email support@adafruit.com and you get the coloring book and you get the bar graph. And everybody else in the chat gets to see the link to the coloring book, and they can download it if they want.
Download it, print it out. Color it in. Why are you so excited about the color book today? What's
because it's the Volta thing.
Oh, because it's Volta.
It was Time Travel Tuesday,
I see.
And our team, Jessica specifically, found that it was Volta's birth date, and we celebrate all the people that kind of built this electronic thing that we do. It's cool.
Okay.
All right.
I love volts.
Yeah.
Go volts.
All right. So that's the show tonight, everyone.
All right.
Thank you so much. We're running a little tight on time.
But
we're
look, we
gonna-
finished exactly at 9.
Yeah. That's the show. 7:30 p.m. Wednesday nights. Show and tell. 8 p.m.
During the party, we had 9 people. We had space for one more. You could have joined.
Yeah. This is worked out. The Wednesday shows are working out.
Doesn't have to be DDR related.
Yeah.
It's cool if it is.
Thank you all the staff members who are in the chat, everyone who's taking care of all the Adafruit biz where we're doing this. Special thanks to Matt for bringing George Washington in here. We'll see everybody
Well, it is. Was it President's Day? Yesterday?
on Monday.
Monday? All right, so it's in honor of President's Day.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for supporting Adafruit in this crazy thing
Yay!
that we're doing. And we'll see everybody next week, Wednesday night.
Not Saturday.
Not Saturday. And,
Not Saturday.
We have a picture of a cat because I get asked to show MOSFET. He's doing fine.
Oh, that's a new photo.
We're going to see him soon.
He looks very attentive.
And here is your moment of Zener.
Okay.